Welcome to the Lemon Squid Spooktacular. Okay, so yeah, I know I'm a little late for Halloween. I apologize for that. Life has been lifing. I didn't get this out on time, but hopefully you still have a little bit of a spooky aftertaste in your mouth and you can still enjoy this spooky little tale. This is one of my personal favorite ghost stories that a family member has ever told me. And you might not even want to consider it a ghost story. It's more like a demon story. Regardless, this is from the point of view of my aunt, Jessica. I had her type it out and send it my way. This is going to be me telling it, but it is her story from her point of view. And it's pretty good, in my opinion. Like I said, one of my all-time favorite family member horror tales. So, without further ado, here we go. So me and about 5 or 6 other girls decided to cram ourselves inside of a Honda Accord and drive out to a haunted cemetery. I'm not really one to believe in spirits, ghosts, haunted cemeteries, or anything like that, but for some reason, I was scared that night. We drove out along a county road in Ohio, smoking weed, listening to SWV, Whitney Houston, Genuine, and on our way out, we had passed a gas station that looked like it had been shut down for what appeared to be years. About a quarter mile down the road from that gas station was a man wearing overalls and boots carrying a red gas can. I didn't think too much about it at the time, so we drove for about another 15 minutes or so out this windy, curvy, out in the middle of nowhere road. Finally, we pulled into a tiny little gravel roadway that was about a quarter of a block long, where there was a foundation of an old church that used to be there, and literally right beside it was the haunted cemetery. Rumors have it that the church had been burnt down. We parked the car and got out, and at this point, I was terrified. It felt cold and evil, but I didn't want to be chicken, so I followed my friends across the field to the end of the gated cemetery. The entire land was equivalent to about a city block, maybe 2 at the most. We get all the way out to the other end of the cemetery, and a couple of us looked over to our left. And that's when myself and 2 of my friends all saw it. There was a black silhouette, crouched on the ground. It turned to look at us and its neck almost looked broken. When it saw us, it rose from the ground. It was not shaped like anything I had ever seen before. It was maybe about 15 feet tall and about the size of a car or 2. After it saw us, it just shot up into the air. What we saw made us scream, and we started running back to the car. The others had no clue, but ran and followed. I grabbed the hand of a girl who was really more of a friend, but we just booked it back to the car as fast as we could, piled in, and drove off. On our way back, we passed the same guy in overalls with the red gas can, in exactly the same spot he was before. It almost looked like he had never even taken a step, yet he was still walking. I'll remind you, the gas station he was walking to looked like it had been closed down for years. Well, come to find out, the church that it used to be there had a young girl who was, assaulted and sacrificed there before whoever did it burned everything down to cover their tracks. Some of my friends that night went back a couple of times, but I can tell you this, I will never go back. You can't tell me there are no such things as haunted places or ghosts or demons because I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. Whatever I saw that night was not human. It was absolutely evil. It terrified me, and to this day, almost 20 years later, it still does. It was cold, and I couldn't catch my breath. I don't know what that was, and I don't care to ever find out, to tell you the truth. I just know I never want to see it again. So yeah, that was it. Pretty spooky stuff. That always terrified me as a kid, especially with the shadow figure like crouched down, and then it's like broken neck swings at them, and like it stands up really fast, and it's incredibly tall. It's just, ooh, that's good. I think that's about all for today. So I'm sorry I couldn't get this out on Halloween, but what's up, Chester? What are you doing? Today's not a Halloween episode. I couldn't get it.
You said there would be a Halloween episode, Master.
Yeah, I'm a little late. I'm sorry.
Sir, it's not Halloween anymore. You promised me. You promised.
I didn't promise anything. What's wrong?
Oh God, Jester, no! Ah!
With